My idea was Big Idea 2, bonding. We did bonds and properties of solids. Can you identify, draw, and describe properties of metallic solids, including interstitial and substitutional alloys? So the metallic properties, they are good conductors because they have a sea of electrons which can transfer charges. They have a high melting point and boiling point. They're very ductile, meaning they can be like stretched out. They're shiny. Malleable means they can be bent and deformed easily. They are hard, and they're all solids at room temperatures except for mercury, that's a liquid at room temperature. Then we go over to alloys. There's two different types of alloys. They are interstitial and substitutional. Interstitial alloys, there's large atoms and then smaller atoms in between each of the large ones. Some of the smaller atoms can be hydrogen, carbon, boron, and then nitrogen. Then substitutional alloys, they just have two different types of elements, as you can see with like the shaded and then the light color. Okay, so a practice problem that I have is which is a metal, A, B, C, or D, and then the two things are conducts in water and conducts as a solid. So A does not and as conduct as either, which means it cannot be a metal because metals always conduct as solids. And on this list, D is the only one that conducts as a solid, so our answer has to be D. Now if we go over to these two practice problems that I have, I'll let you guys work on these and then we'll come back later. Alright, so what substance would be the metal given the following? And you were given melting point, conductivity in water, and conductivity as a solid. So back to the previous example that I gave, you always know something is a metal when it conducts as a solid because metals are the only substances that do that. So you can narrow it down right away and you don't even need all the other information basically. So you just know that B is going to be the metal since it conducts as a solid. So now the second question is, what is the possible identity of the metal X? And then you can see X and Y. Y is the big atom and then X is the smaller one. So if you remember previously, that's going to be an interstitial alloy, meaning it has to either be hydrogen, carbon, boron, or nitrogen, and C would be your correct answer there. And that's all I have for you today.